NEFCON is where the conversation happens. Post your favorite insights from this panel and tag our speakers. All right, let's go into our first big discussion of the day. AI is no longer the future. It's the present. From AI-powered lending to fraud prevention, this panel will explore how AI is revolutionizing financial services. And leading this electrifying discussion, we have our moderator, Mr. Ashok Mittal, MD and CEO, BillMart Fintech. Joining him are distinguished panelists, Mr. Anish Kila, Director, Perfect Finance, Mr. Atul Gaurav, founding member, and Head IT, Ziel Fintech. Please, can I have you here on the stage? Yes, of course, you can just give a huge round of applause, even if I don't remind. Mr. Devendra Sharma, CTO, DMI Housing Finance. Mr. Dhiraj Aggarwal, Chief Business Officer, Mufin Green Finance. Mr. Mukul Aggarwal, SVP-IT, Religare Housing Development Finance. Please, everyone, have your seats, and let's hear it out from our panelists.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So, my name is Ashok Mittal, and I represent BillMart, which is a fintech company into supply chain finance. So, we in fact serve MSMEs, SMEs, large corporates, etc., and largely very apt to this subject of using technology in various kind of products. But I see a lot of silence, so before I start with the panel members, I would want to ask one simple question from the audience. If you have gone through the agenda, do you have questions? Means I'm asking this in advance. People ask at the end, I'm asking, do you have questions? So anybody who can raise their hands and they have thought that, okay, I will have some question to ask from these panel members. Because only 40 minutes are given and there are 6 people, 40 minutes each. I think they are very, very experienced people. Each one of them can speak around 40 minutes. So, and the subject itself is vast. They have given us 5 topics within the artificial intelligence space to how to use this space for maybe customer acquisition, customer servicing, fraud prevention, lending in various segments, and they have made me the moderator who doesn't understand technology. Very great, I think, thought behind it that a business person should ask questions from the tech people how they're going to build technology about this. So what we will do is to make it little interactive and everybody gets a chance. I would request everyone to introduce themselves briefly, and then I have some questions. We'll try to bring them to respective people in terms of whatever is their knowledge, experience, learnings from various things, and the kind of technology they are using or they are planning to use for their products. We have people from housing finance, we have from SMEs, microfinance, green energy, and I talk about supply chain finance, etc. So quickly, I think we can start with the introduction, and then each conversation I will just request keep it a little shorter so that we can cover all the questions. Thank you so much.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Devendra Sharma, CTO of DMI Housing Finance. We provide affordable housing loan, and we use technology at various stages to make sure our processes are flexible, agile, and provide better tailor-made solution, home credit solutions to our customers to meet their diverse needs. So that's the key focus we look from a housing finance perspective.
So good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to our like-minded people. My name is Atul Gaurav. I'm from Ziel Fintech. I head the tech and HR at Ziel Financial Technologies Private Limited. We have a brand name as Z First. We are backed by Oxizo and our business, who are unicorns in the real world space. Coming back to the market segment, we serve the emerging middle class. This emerging middle class is something we have classified to the customers who are just above the microfinance segment. A customer, as sir said, above 3 lakh of income. We have branches across, multiple states, Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab. We recently got, engaged with Maharashtra and MP. We are exploring opportunities across Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So that's all. Thank you so much.
Just to repeat, Ashok Mittal representing BillMart, which is a tech-driven company. We are largely into supply chain finance. Our idea is to service MSMEs and SMEs where we do purchase bill discounting, sale bill discount, vendor financing or dealer financing. Being a tech company, we have around 35 odd lenders, banks, NBFC companies, new age, old age banks, etc., who provide these credit lines. So variety of customers are being serviced under this platform.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. This is Dhiraj. I represent Mufin Greens. Mufin Greens is an NBFC with totally in the electric vehicle finance. We have an AUM of near about 900 crores and we lend to the e-rickshaws, drivers, and we are pan-India presence with 26 states. That's all.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mukul Aggarwal and I am head of IT for Religare Housing. Religare Housing is into affordable housing finance with different kind of customer segments, documented income, undocumented income, etc. Major presence in South and West.
Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Anish Kila. I'm representing the Perfect Group and M5 and Association for EV Financers. And I am very happy to be part of this elite panel and so much to learn here. People who've got presence all across the country and using tech. I am very happy to share that we are in the process of tech adoption. We are looking at ways that tech can make it easier for our customers and for our own team. So happy to be here to learn.
Okay, so we'll start the discussion and we'll start with Anish only to begin with because he was the introduced last. So Anish, I think everybody is talking about artificial intelligence. Now the basic of artificial intelligence is you can build it over a period of time with experiencing the data which you got, right? You can play with the data.
Absolutely.
And yours is a very, very, very old company. You have got huge database with you in your company where you have been doing and you have been pioneer in this particular segment, right? But most people will think that you are a very old company, so maybe coming from old school and may not be doing so much of technology. So how is this happening at your end? Are you using AI only for customer acquisition or are you also using this for risk assessment, loan disbursement, post-disbursement monitoring, etc.? At what level you are in terms of using some kind of advanced level of technology, I will call it. So if you can share some thoughts.
Yeah, so honestly speaking, Ashokji, I think you summed it up very nicely for me. We are an old school company when it comes to, we've been doing this for almost 40 years now. And in terms of tech adoption, I think we are lacking in terms of implementation. I think there's so many discussions going on with different forums and different companies. But where I see immediate scope for us, especially as a EV financing company, is in terms of customer service management and in terms of customer credit also. Because these are places wherein you sort of take the customer for granted. And you think that you've got it all figured out when it comes to entertaining customer credit. But these AI models are actually very advanced, and when they can help you find out or identify certain trends. I was in talks with a certain company and they said, if this is the kind of customer that you're entertaining, post 6 months, this is the behavior that should happen. And if it doesn't happen, then you should understand this is heading towards delinquency. And they were able to back it up with data that they'd collected across companies. Now, I think the good part is in terms of the foundation models, like you said, whoever's got the best data will be able to generate the best AI-based solutions for that. Now, the credit bureau companies, I think, have a slighter advantage or higher advantage than other people who are collecting data for these fronts. Because they have collected data over the years in terms of credit pattern, and especially when it comes to credit decisions. I think the solutions that they're offering are very relevant to us. So, I see immediate, for Perfect Group, we would be, like CRM is something we've already started with generative AI. But customer credit and fraud management is something we are stepping into next.
Okay, great, thank you. So, Atul, I have next question with you. You have told that you are doing small ticket MSME loans, unsecured and secured business loans, and maybe around 50% micro LAP, right? Small ticket secured loans. And they are in tier 2, 3, 4 towns, right? 3, 4 towns, right? So we at Press Loans also has been doing it. We do micro LAP business. And this is a segment where each of my team member tells me that the customer has no technology usage experience. They don't use any technology. There is hardly any internet in those areas. They are not tech savvy. They don't understand technology. So everything is physical in nature. I understand even underwriting what you must be doing. A larger part of that might be, people driven. They go assess the income and all, right? So in that scenario, if you have to do underwriting, let us say, using past data and experience of those people where they do not have so much of digital footprint, and you are a fintech, right? So how do you really use technology, especially, I'm using basic language of technology while I'm supposed to ask you artificial intelligence, which is one step ahead out. So is there something happening in this space because a lot of people are at ground level, or it is just a talk in the air, okay, AI karte hain.
Absolutely,
really
absolutely,
a practical answer of this, so that now other people who are sitting here, they can also benefit from this if there is a advantage people can take from
So
this.
what you have asked is the predecessor of AI. Means we may talk about AI, but before that you need to ensure that technology is well, deployed with our customers. It is well inherited by them, and as you said, it's on a contrary side for us that none of my customer can have a loan without downloading my mobile application. So we have a mobile application in place at the Play Store, and they do have to download the generator reference number from there, and then only their application go ahead. So that's also a point of view, because we have served around 40,000 plus customers in past 3 years, and I have a download of 1 lakh plus over the Play Store. So this is from the outreach of technology and adoption. So I believe there is a huge adoption with Jio and many big players like Bharti and all. We have an outreach of network, and they absolutely are using it. Now coming back to the question that you have asked about the credit life and all. So see, bureau obviously is one of the component which is the formal source of data. Anything beyond bureau, as I'll say, apart from bank statement, is an informal source of data for me. Many customers come up in the first attempt, and they are as good as an NTC, which we call as a new to credit customers. We are serving around 20-25% of customer every month who are new to credit. The point is that how well you put in your process. This segment, we can never get into a complete digital model. The reason is that the customer is not well aware. They don't have much acceptance towards the technology. Hence, we have a branch-based model. We have a field on street model. We have collection people in place. Now, while these customers comes up, we get a detailed assessment done in field. We ensure that we do a proper reference check with them. We ensure that the local money lenders have been cross-checked with our sources and all. And basis that the assessment is done. And in addition to that, the household expenses is one of the component which obviously our chief guest has mentioned, that it is necessary to consider it, because a household may have a cattle business, may have a kirana business. How will you assess that? How you ensure the inventories are placed? How you ensure that how much credit has been given to that customer is something that we need to do it efficiently, and that is what we have been doing, apart from what we can go ahead in the AI and all. So this is how it's done, sir.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. So AI-powered lending. Now another segment is green financing, which Dhiraj is doing, and he said that they are doing e-rickshaw financing largely. Of course, they must be doing larger e-vehicle and truck or bus, etc. as well. But this e-rickshaw or whatever is your core segment, I think they are still 2 steps lower than what Atul is doing, right? So how much AI or technology can be used? What have you moved? I think you are their pioneer, very old in this segment, last 7-8 years. So what kind of developments you would have seen either by your company, where maybe you are using technology or AI, or whether the customers are also using, and what specific tools, the methods you are using to arrive at the customers, either experience or lending or credit worthiness, etc.
Yeah, good question, sir. And actually, we are giving loans to the e-rickshaw drivers and all. So, where I can see everybody knows that EV financing to them is a costly affair. The reason of cost is, apart from that, our cost of funds, but credit cost is also high. Then we have a huge delinquencies also. So, what we people are doing, that we feel that AI can help us in 2 to 3 ways. First is we have started using a technology of humanoid bot, where we are talking to all the customers in line to pay the reminder in time, because these people are daily earners. So if we can help them or remind them that their EMI is due and they can pay us EMI. So we have a process where we are started taking the EMI daily. So there is no cost to it, but we have given the QR code that has helped us in getting the EMI. Another part is what AI tool will help me in assessing the resale value of this EV. Yeah, which is again through the batteries is a main part. So we can understand how the battery life is, because the heart is the battery here. If you can assess it, it will be very helpful for me to resell the product. Because if we repossess that e-rickshaws and vehicle, there hardly any principal we get it. So there's again a loss to it. Then another thing what people are doing is that help me in assessing the credit of a customer through KYC, through eKYC's mode. So that 2-3 modes we have started using it, though our drivers are not very prone to digital way, but still some people are using these technologies, so we are definitely going through it.
Thank you so much. I have a question with Mukul.
Yeah.
First of all, good to see Religare coming back. I think that's
Thanks.
a great thing. And it has been a great name earlier in the financial services sector. And because I'm assuming, I may be wrong, but I'm assuming that you must be restarting everything from
Yes, indeed.
beginning, especially in the tech side, right? So are you starting tech from basic level right now, or you are already starting building some tools or AI or ML tools based on previous data which you have? And how do you think this AI powered lending happening next, say, 3, 4, 5 years? Yeah.
Sure. Thanks for a very grounded question and calling a spade a spade. Yes, we are about to begin operations on a very large scale. We never ceased to, have operations in place, but with the new things in place, what is happening is, of course, you rightly said, tech has to always be a step ahead. So it's not that we waited for this moment and then we start planning. No, the planning has been there for at least a year now. We already have the technology layer set up, the new technology layer set up, which has completely replaced the old technology. The good thing is we have got a huge database of the customers, which is the basic foundation for any Gen AI model, which is if you do a in-house LLM, a small LLM, which anyways we are not going to plan, but you still need a lot of data to for the language model to learn. That is the Gen AI part of it. But before that, there is also an ML piece to it. So we plan to use ML rather, not Gen AI. So there is a subtle difference. People are always confused between Gen AI versus ML. We do not want to fly straight away. We want to drive at a fast pace where we intend to use ML. Yes, we have tinkered with Gen AI cases as well earlier, because as you rightly said, the segment that we do does not have anything which is documented. And even if it is documented, a lot of it is on documents which are actually photographed. So we have technology in place where it goes beyond an OCR. Even if it is a photograph of a PAN card, which has been clicked by keeping it on a table such as this big, the technology would be still able to extract the information in that PAN card. First of all, it will be able to identify correctly that, yes, the thing that I'm seeing is a PAN card on this photo, and then read the data out of it. So that has enabled us to churn out meaningful information which can then be processed for further cross-sell on the existing databases that we have. This has immensely helped us from a ML piece. We call it Gen AI, but I am sure it's not Gen AI, it's more of an ML piece that we are doing. So there we are.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Great. I think very apt answer. Devendra Sharma ji, I think I will also ask you some maybe not directly relevant question, but so DMI is a very large brand, well-known company. Normally in general public, people talk about DMI finance, right? Because they have lot of tie-ups, they do digital lending, they are very large in digital lending, etc. But DMI housing finance, which is more like micro lab and large tickets, etc. you do, and I think you also do through relationships, right? Yeah. So in DMI housing finance, which is a very critical sector, I will also ask you technology uses from two perspectives. Okay, one is a direct customer and how much AI you are able to use for risk management perspective, or from this perspective that okay, how you are servicing the customer, the way other panelists have spoken. Secondly, are you also using AI for your partners? Because you have a lot of partners through whom you are working. So are you also using same tools or different tools for partners? Okay. So housing being very critical, and again, housing also consider that, okay, this is a very long-term 15, 20 years loan, so we do not know. So your risk assessment also has to be for a very long duration versus a short 1-2 years loan. So how do you really kind of assess through technology that you can take a call for say 20 years?
Okay, that's a good question. So from a DMI gene perspective, we focus on technology innovation, not only in DMI finance, in DMI housing. If you look at my background, I was not from a NBFC initially. They hired me to build a technology stack. I was thesis and SCL veteran, and they hired me 7 years back to create a technology solution which can help them to proceed further. So if I look from a direct customer acquisition, we created a multiple things. We created customer mobile apps. We created I will go differently. So from a automation, what we focused on from a customer perspective, we focus on reducing the turnaround time. So we use lot of we'll focus where in affordable housing the main effort goes is more on document processing, doing the data entries. So we have done lot of document processing through generative AI and different tools to make sure that data can be captured automatically. Like if you look at an affordable, we are getting maximum time passbook photocopies, and which we are already integrated with account aggregator, but lot of time account aggregator is not providing information back. So when you are getting those passbook, making a banking statement take longer time. So we have integrated with few partners where even with passbook we can able to fetch all the data and do the analysis, and then we return a rule engine to look not on a credit decision, look at the alternative data, look at the spending patterns, and make a right decisions. So that's from a document processing. Then we look at how we have used the rule engine. So we look at how we can do our credit decision faster. If I have a requisite data in housing loan also, we can able to make decision in a less than minute. So we written a lot of rule engine. Previously when I joined, we had around 200 plus deviations and their mitigations were in place. So what we have done, we automated, first step was we automated that previously every credit guy on subjectivity, they were putting those deviations. So it was not transparency, it is based on credit guys. So what we first automated was, the system will automatically identify deviation, no manual deviation can be added. Second step, what we done, we focus on continuous improvement. So what we done is, then we look at what was the mitigation rule written in system, what was the manual rules they follow. So we put those rules within a system because all data exists in system. And then we automated everything. Now auto sanction is happening on bank salary, and few places if income assessment completed in SCNP, we can able to the auto sanction in SCNP cases also. Great. So that's a two part.
Good.
Now looking from a partner perspective, what we asking partner, I go for two type of partner. One is a partner who is providing digital leads level data. So we have a API stack with them so they can digitally send data to us. There is second stack which we have provided to partner is sending applications, because few partners can send digital applications, so that tie-up is in place. In other co-lending and other places, we have agreed with partner if they want to do API integration, we are ready for API integration. In certain places, if partner doesn't have a strong technical team, so we help with certain, we provide our systems to make certain data entry, we provide certain, whatever the automation we have done for ourselves, we open those automation for them so that they able, their file decision can be made faster.
Understand. Good. Thank you so much. So I think these are two areas which we just spoke about, but the more we talk about technology use, AI use, even machine learning use, I guess, let's say there are three entities which I understand. One is a lender, people like us who lend to various segments. Even when we do supply chain finance and we have to check the invoices, there is always a risk that no invoice can be funded by somebody else. There is a duplicate funding happening in invoices. So we also use a lot of small tools in terms of assessing whether the invoice is right, whether it is fair invoice, it is genuine. You check that with the GST or e-way bill, etc. So assess to a great extent that, okay, the invoice is right. So one is lender. Second is the customer, right? And third is the regulator. Now let us look at the customer, and we have to see the more of development which we look at the technology, right? All of you must have seen, okay, I'm using technology, I'm using technology, I'm using this, that. But there is a class of people who are far more ahead of us. They are the fraudsters. They also use technology. They also use advanced tools in terms of doing some kind of fraudulent activity. So how, and I will ask this question to all of you to briefly talk about it. Largely people have used technology to acquire customers. I think few years back everybody was focused that, okay, I should acquire customer digitally, send them a lot of messages, get the information, download the app, get the information. So the first focus I think was on customer acquisition. It's little old, maybe 2015, 16, 17 was that time. Then it became more on underwriting, assessment. Of late it became more on collection. Okay, we have seen a lot of companies coming up and saying, okay, you can digitally collect, send message digitally. A lot of tech use has happened. Old data like behavior of the customer has started happening. But what about prevention of frauds, let us say? Okay. So each one of you, same question, but is there any specific tool you have developed using? Do you think AI can really, protect the lenders from any fraudulent activity? Have you experienced it? Because we read in the newspaper a lot about this, and you are from different segments altogether. So your customer base is actually different. So we can start from Anish and then move to everyone to understand whether who is ahead, whether we are ahead or the people who are doing it, they are ahead.
Thank you, Ashok. I think it's a very relevant question to the times that we are in. And I'll just share a small experience that we've had recently. So, like all of us are accepting payments through digital platforms and QR codes and dynamic QR codes. Another player that we need to address in the framework is the regulatory environment. I think that is something that we are not planning, and then when it comes to bite us back, that is where we understand that the regulatory players have not accommodated for us. So we had a case wherein the digital QR code payment was made from the customer's bank account to our bank account. And then about 2 weeks later, we get an email from the bank saying that this has been a part of a digital fraud. And we shared the paper saying that this has come from our customer's account to this account. It's not even come from a third-party account. Because there are instances when it comes from a third-party account also, but none of us have the wherewithal to keep asking for KYCs for these small payments. But in this case, it had come from the customer's account itself. Our account got blocked.
Yeah, best.
Because the investigative team sent an email saying that this account has to be blocked. The amount in question was 6,000 rupees. The amount in the account was multifold. And then we were supposed to travel to Jaipur to get that account opened because the bank put up their hands and said that we can't do anything. The guy who was handling the investigative officer said, you have to come here, meet me in person to do this. And I was just thanking the gods that it's Jaipur. It could be Chennai, it could be Pondicherry, it could be any part of the world that they could have asked us to come, and we would have to bow our head and go and tell them that this has come from our customer's account. We have the KYC, we have all the payments that have come previously also have come from this account. Now how that part is, and the funny part is they are saying now it is 6 layered. So you could be the 6th layer in that payment cycle and your account can still be blocked without recourse. That now you have to go. So we have refunded the
6,000 rupees.
6,000 rupees to the guy who was claiming that this payment was made from my account. The customer refuses to accommodate, saying that I have made from my account, it should not matter to you where this has come from. And again, there are these discrete expenses that we had to undertake. And when you look at an AI tool for this, I would be the first one to hop onto that if there was something that could help us with that.
Tech people are sitting here, so maybe somebody will catch it.
Yeah, I think you shared a very relevant example because this has happened to somebody's known. Yeah, I mean, getting your account frozen because some mule account has made a amount transfer either to your account or you have been a party to that layering that you talked about. Yes, this kind of thing is happening. I hope the account aggregator ecosystem may help. It's very, very far away. The account aggregator system itself is very nascent at this point of time. The regulator has just started forcing all the players in the market to use it. But then we are really far away. Of course, the technology can be built upon it to do a tracing only if all the legs of the transaction are available on the same platform. Even if one of the leg of transaction is not available on the same platform, it's really not possible to connect the dots where the money is flowing from. That's one part of it. But yes, from a fraud prevention perspective that you're talking about, I think in our industry, skip tracing is the most important piece where a lot of frauds happen. It's really, really difficult to do skip tracing with all the manual methods in place. The FCU teams using all the assets at their disposal. However, there is a large scope for using the Gen AI, which would specially scan the social media for skip tracing. That's where I am hopeful and would also continue to research on my own what's there in the market that is happening in the Gen AI space for the FCU team to enable them to trace the customers who are missing.
Sure. There are very different customers again.
Yeah, the same thing, that incident happened with Mr. Anish. I want to just tell one more incident which we happened. Last month, there is a mail from RBI that there's a guarantor which says that he is not your guarantor. So you have to remove his bureau because we have sent to bureau his bouncings and all. So when we check the record, he has signed this. But yes, he has signed all the documents and he said that this is not I have not signed it, this is not my signature. And then when we also called that customer, so his voice is different from this voice. It is so we have now talked to one company who is on a voice technology they work, so they can understand the voice of a customer. So that is also, we are talking to RBI that is it legal or no, I don't know. But yes, it's a voice recognition software, so that can understand that he's the same guy who was there last time. So these technologies are coming to India, I think. So this I brought it from US-based Franklin company who has working there for giving the loans on phone. So that technology, so that is AI, I think definitely used it. And other thing, because I am dealing to those type of customers who are rickshaw drivers, they are either they are doing the frauds or sales team or dealer doing at the showroom are doing the fraud. So we are also started using that tool for QR code scanning and all that will definitely help us in understanding better customer profile. That's all.
Okay, great. I think One important aspect which I can share with you with reference to advancement in terms of technology is two very innovative ideas have come. One is, if you see RBI H, the RBI has got a separate innovation hub which is being set up in Bangalore, and it is working great in terms of taking ahead lot of initiatives, leads to improve the entire technology base layer for the lenders, especially. And with reference to supply chain finance or bill discounting, there is a separate entity which is called IBDIC, which is working in this space that I think 7 banks and BillMart are the initial members for that. They are creating, I can say, kind of platform where all the invoices can be put in. It will be part of blockchain, you can say, for the invoices, and then all the invoices are there. So that will kind of avoid any kind of duplicate financing. So once larger number of, it is similar to, you can say, account aggregator, you say, okay, everything is available. So similar way, there is a platform, it's a blockchain platform where if all the lenders are there, let us say, and all the invoices are also in the system, then you can check that, okay, this particular invoice is not really financed by any other lender. So a lot of work is happening in that space as far as the supply chain finance segment or bill discounting segment is concerned. Same question, but maybe you can touch upon a little bit on the regulatory side because we have lesser time now. So fraud prevention is one aspect, but at the same time, compliances, maybe both of you can touch that. Because again, I think since this year has started, we have seen almost every month there is a new regulation coming up, and new directions are coming up, new regulations are coming up, new guidelines are coming up, new formats are coming now. So how do you really match your pace? Maybe you have developed a technology to do certain thing, and then suddenly changes have come. Similarly, bureau reporting formats changes have come. So it changes your entire pace in terms of whatever AI-driven things you've done. So fraud plus regulatory compliances, internal, external, whether they are related to Reserve Bank of India or MCA or any other local authorities, I will say. This is a case where you have to physically go and people will not accept digital format, etc. So how much AI you can use for regulatory compliances or findings?
So at first, if I talk about fraud, it is not limited, I believe, to any of the scope, be it repayment or be it any risk assessment. It starts from the stage of onboarding. You can call it a customer, you can call it an agent, you can call it a dealer. Documents can be manipulated anywhere. And the first scope of AI, probably we might term it as a model or something else, but yes, as the fellow panelists have said, that ML model would be the right word to say that you first need an efficient ML model, which at least help you identify that these documents are forged. There's some sort of manipulation to that document. So obviously that onboarding is one of the component. And again, coming back to the risk, at risk also you have invoices which can be manipulated, which can be multiple, funded multiple times. So the scope of fraud is there also, and there also we need to deploy some sort of models. Eventually, we right now are using this to a limited scope of onboarding, where at least we check that the KYCs which we are receiving is, not tampered. At least because there is no source to identify the image of the customer in the PAN card, because I can only get it done once the signing is done through Aadhaar, and then only I get to know that is the customer is same, or a kind of image deduping is done through the UIDI services. Now, coming back to the regulatory, I believe we are in the era where, the policymakers and the regulators are running ahead. And we have been, sitting behind in terms of policies, because if you see the DPDP Act or GDPR from Europe, they have been so profound and so clarified that if you start implementing it today, you never know that it will take you a couple of months or years, how long, to implement that, even though we have been coping up with them. So two things would be required. I believe we need few prominent players in terms of, and I believe I've been meeting few of them in the coming months, who are, who have a set roadmap where they help you around with the implementation of policies which have been mentioned. And at the same time, the entities or the NBFCs or the fintechs, they also need to evolve there. Because if we stay stringent to the old policies, you never know what comes next. So these are the core findings which I believe come up from the fraud and the implementations perspective from the compliance side.
Sure. Rather compliance, I mean, how much AI can be used, how much you can train your systems to meet all the compliances, whether they're KYC compliances or even collection mechanism compliances, etc., etc.
Okay, so I will look from a first where we can use from a fraud or any other compliance perspective. First, we can look from a documentary fraud like KYC, and we have covered all those things. Even not only KYC, we can look at the other document shows, because these days a lot of data science models are available which you can use to verify unformatted documents, and you can check certain specific informations with those model to recheck whether the document is genuine or not. Second thing which you can look at anomaly in data coming to you, whether similar type of, if you have a long data, if you have, then you can able to check patterns, type of pattern, spending pattern, where what type of behavioral pattern. You can look at social media, you can look at lot of other sources to make sure that what decision you're taking for lending the customer is correct or wrong. So that will help you to identify the customer properly. Lot of work currently government is also working where key thing in housing finance company is making sure where property papers are correct, not false. So lot of things government are doing, but we can use lot of place generated AI to look at a specific pattern based on different states. If the state follow this type of thing, can I put certain scanning on document, because there may be possibility human may miss those things, so I can put certain check at part of document processing to verify those things are covered or not. Looking from a compliance perspective, government are putting lot of restriction, but it will help long run to everyone. Their key thing which RBI is focusing is on transparency, looking for data protection from a consent perspective. Then they are looking for fairness in lending. Key challenge generally come from AI perspective. When I write any rule engine or when I put any AI based decision, there will be certain bias happen. Give example, many time looking at a data pattern, we think, okay, bank salary guy is a good as compared to SCNP guy, and sometimes that's may give a biased decision by AI.
Yes.
So you can use alternative data sources available to make sure that you take a right decision. You're not biased based on the profiling of the customer.
Yes.
So those type of things we can able to put. Other thing, key challenge with AI where compliance need to work is AI is like a black box. People doesn't know when decision happen. Customer doesn't know whether it's a right decision, why my file is approved, why file is even forget about customer. Even our credit guy doesn't know why system has approved it and why it is rejected it. So many time I came across with credit guy is look to genuine file, why your system has rejected, auto rejected the file. So that change is required. We may have to look at explainable AI where AI can give details why this decision has been taken. That will help in long run in a compliance perspective.
Sure. So I think okay, very less time now. Maybe everyone can maybe say a few words, but before that, I think there are 2-3 things which are important from future of fintech. So one very famous chapter in one of my book I have written, the fintech entrepreneur's journey. So in that I mentioned 3 things, that the 3 V's, and I have been saying this for many years. One is this entire text system which we are using is going to go away. We will have to use voice, which you mentioned, right? So maybe we use voice more to interact with the customers instead of sending him a written letter, email, text message, WhatsApp message. Maybe we need to talk to them. Of course, bots will talk to them. There will be voice bot instead of chat bot. But voice is going to be very, very important for future of technology and AI. Now, what you call deep fake AI, right? They can use, okay, his language also. Okay, Dhiraj sir is calling. So maybe that kind of technology will get developed. That, okay, company's MD and CEO is calling. Second is videos. I guess the better interaction happen when there is a, we say, face-to-face conversation, right? So of course you can't go everywhere. That some videos means also reels maybe. So now people don't have patience to look at say 30-40 minutes video in terms of explaining. But maybe you can communicate your message, whether it is a compliance related legal message or it's a normal communication. And third and more, I will say most important in India especially, is vernacular. Now even RBI says, okay, you are supposed to inform to the customer in the language they understand. So we will have to design our technology in such a manner that whatever communication we are doing with the customers is also transmitted to them in their language. So maybe these AI tools which we create, they have to use multi lingual scripts in terms of communicating to them that, okay, I'm asking you to confirm your PAN number, Aadhaar number. I'm asking you to make payment of your EMIs or dues, overdues, or some non-compliance. This has to happen in their language. Maybe we create on in English the standard language, but then the communication has to happen in multiple languages, right? And last point from my side is that I see a lot of collaboration to happen between new age financial technology companies versus with the old age lending company or bank or NBFC, whatever they are, because I see lot of lenders still being old age lenders, right? And they have to, I will say they are not able to adapt latest technology. They have to go to somebody like him. Okay, boss, you are using technology. Why not we collaborate using technology? Because independently use of technology by these institutions may be very difficult. So now when RBI is also increasing, gradually increasing the NOF limitation for smaller NBFC, etc., I see a lot of collaboration to happen, some merger acquisition, some kinds of consolidation to happen in the industry where fintechs will take lead with the lenders, right? This is what I feel. So just to, maybe we can ask people to give closing remarks quickly, and then maybe we have some question if you time, although we are a little late. Anish, you can start quickly maybe.
I think it was quite an eye-opener when it comes to the possible implementations of AI. And I'm sure most of us on this panel would agree that that is the way forward. So I am very hopeful that we'll be in a better pace when we meet next, and we'll have a better implementation success story. Thanks.
Yeah, I think it has been a really good discussion. I would like to close it with today's article in Economic Times, where our Minister of Information Technology, Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav, has mentioned that yes, India is actually setting up a government-owned AI lab which could be used by entrepreneurs and startups and at a very cheap price. The interesting part, it's not the hardware piece. The most interesting piece in that article, which I'm sure I want to bring you your notice, is that Government of India has also opened a lot of data sets which can be used to train your own large language models. One of them being Bhashani, which could probably be used for training a lot of vernacular languages.
I think good point I think covered, but what I feel from my customer point of view, this can be a game changer for me in a financial industry. But small request from the people, IT companies who are here, please give us at a better rate, cheaper rates. Yeah, thank you.
So, to my extent, I believe the adaptation is real, the risk is real, and I believe the compliances are real. And it's our time to adapt, to comply, and to execute it well ahead of time. Because while we are competing it with the international forces, we are well aware, and as the fellow panelist said, that the ministry has already set up a well planned 67 rupees per hour. Means it's just a compute instance which might I am paying for RDS instance at AWS. So if such a GPU instance we are going to have, you don't need an AWS instance dedicatedly to run your models and all. So let's adapt, and I believe it's more on the solutions and the architects who can come up and give us more fulfilling products from the AI side. So that's all. Thank you.
Thanks everyone. I agree with all the points, and what I feel is that we should use from a customer centric point of view, ki whether whatever we are going to use will enable customer to get decision faster, whether it will help them to make any decision, and whether we will able to help them in making any predictive analysis, and that's the key focus. Other thing I will add at the end, we should look from a compliance perspective also. We should make sure that our decisions are fair, we are not biased, and we are doing data protection properly.
Thank you very much, guys. We have actually overgone on the time, and people are staring at me. So we'll have questions maybe offline. I would like to thank all the panelists. After a long time, this has been very, very different kind of a conversation on technology where people have now shared their experience and what they are thinking going forward would be, including the rate reduction by the vendors. Thank you so much, and we will have more discussion offline. Thanks a lot to everyone.
And that was absolutely a riveting discussion. Oh, huge thank you to our panelists and moderator for such valuable insights. Now I would like to invite Mr. Ashok Mittal, MD and CEO, BillMart Fintech, to just please present the mementos. And everybody please come forward for a group photograph. Can I have a round of applause for each one of them? You all can come forward for a group photograph. Also, I would like to call upon Mr. Ashish Srivastava, co-founder, director of B2B TFM, to present the mementos to Mr. Ashok Mittal.